Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Look here, y'all. Before I get started on this episode, I want to remind you to go check out the book, Rivals. Me and Boo collaborated on it. You know what I'm saying? It's available at jtb3.org. It's a good book. It's about a father and son and rival gangs. And more importantly, the wider view of it. It's about generational gang violence. I think that you'll enjoy it. And just go check that out, right? It's on jtb3.org. That's Boo's website, right? Appreciate your support. But look here. What I'm getting at in this show is about, this young man. His name was Steven. That was real ambitious, and he wanted to move up the ladder real fast. He wanted power. He felt like he was smarter than everybody else, and he had an alliance with an officer that he had made out of necessity because he felt like he could trust this officer because this officer knows something about his lifestyle and his proclivities, and he hasn't said anything to anybody about it, but this officer is starting to ask for information from him, which he's giving, as long as he, continues to get favors from the officer and the administration, right? So check this out, right, y'all. It's going to be good. I want you to pay attention and keep on listening to what I'm saying, and you'll see these little nuggets in it, right, where you understand how this game goes. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. Again, this is a cautionary tale to the lifestyle, and a lot of people might tell you otherwise. I'm telling you what it is. It's raw. Telling you what it is. It's rough, rugged, and raw. So sit back, relax, y'all, and keep sucking the game up. So look here now, Steven and this officer beginning to become buddy, right? He's really exchanging information with this officer, and now the officer acting on behalf of the administration is saying, is there anything else? He's asking now. He's asking Steven, is there anything else that we can do for you? Because what they really want from him, he hasn't peeped game yet. They really want to put him in play. They really want him to be in charge. But that takes time. Steven is not stupid. He sees that he can manipulate his way to that top spot, but he can't do it too fast, because if he does it too fast, then people are going to start suspecting things, right? But his ambition gets the best of him. He's in the cell with his boy that he got everybody convinced is holding packs for him. He's working with the police, giving up information about the family because he thinks he can trust his police, or he's just using the police. It's a mutual thing. He's already got one of the folks shipped. And now he has his sights on moving up, but he knows he has to take his time. So he starts to plant the seeds of doubt in some of the other brothers' mind. Now keep in mind, look here, the most powerful person, in my opinion, even though I was denying for years, you feel what I'm saying? But the most powerful person in any organization is one, the one that holds the purse strings. If you are helping people eat, you can manipulate them into doing anything you want them to do. You understand? You can manipulate them into doing anything that you want them to do. And Steven knew that. He knew that. So what did he do? He started to plant seeds of doubt about the leadership in some of these other brothers' minds. Especially those brothers that would come back and couldn't pay the full debt, because people mess up. Everybody's not a hustler, y'all. You feel me? Just because somebody get a pack or a few bags of dope and they go out and they try to sell it or whatnot, then they can't sell it because, they got little secret habits. They might have friends they want to break bread with. So when they come back, it's supposed to be $50, they might have $30. You understand? So Steven, in his infinite wisdom, he was like, don't worry about that other 20 folks. I got you. I'm going to take care of that for you. So now what? They feel beholden to him because he knows secrets about them now. Because all he has to do is turn them into the head of security on the compound. They ain't paid the debt, and guess what they get? The pumpkin head. And if anybody out there knows what the pumpkin head is, then, you know what? I ain't even going to assume you know. I'm going to explain it to you what the pumpkin head is. The pumpkin head is what happens to you after you get put in violation. You feel what I'm saying? And you done had people repeatedly hitting you in your head. Your head will swell up the size of a pumpkin. For real. You look like a cartoon character. That's why they call it the Pumpkinhead. And trust me, it is so hard on you that it ain't nothing that you could really do about it. It will hurt you in ways that you can't even understand. I'm telling you. But that's what it is if you end up getting the Pumpkinhead. And ain't nobody going to have no pity for you. Because like I said before, ain't no pity in Gangster City. There is none. So don't expect it. You feel me? So they feel like, man, bro, looking out. He's solid. So when he tells them that the 9 is making a bad call on this, or the chief of security is making a bad call on that, they're listening to him. Now he's got influence over them. And now when the COS or the 9 is saying something, they still listen to him because they have to. But they don't respect them like they used to because Stephen has started to sow seeds of doubt. And when you start to sow seeds of doubt toward the leadership, what you don't realize is you're starting to poison the whole thing. But see, he's so young and immature, he didn't realize that. But he'll learn that later. Trust me. Just keep in mind what I just said. When you start to plant seeds of doubt in the leadership, you actually are poisoning the organization as a whole. But again, you got to have foresight to see that. You understand what I'm saying? But Stephen doesn't have that yet because he's still young. But he has a plan. He has to make everybody look to him as the leader and not them. You understand? He does like a lot of people come into prison. He's reading these books called like the 48 Laws of Power, stuff like that. And he's learning to implement and apply these lessons that he's reading out of this book to how he's functioning within the organization that he said he wanted to be a part of. He joined the organization because he loved the brotherhood of it. But now he's doing the exact opposite of what he intended to do. He wanted to be a part of something that showed all of this love that he saw in that convenience store, but now in that convenience store, but now what he's doing is the opposite of that. He's tearing it down. He's tearing it down because he's ambitious. But see, that's what the organization teaches you. The gang life teaches you that you are a shark. And when you know what? Not even a shark, a piranha. And when you smell blood in the water, guess what? Get them. Even if you got to nick them to get the blood to flowing, then you get them. It feeds on itself. It's cannibalistic. Gang life is cannibalistic, y'all. Remember that. Remember that. So here's the thing. So now, he don't want to knock the 9 off, but he got to get the COS out of the way. Because he get the COS, he can get to the 9. You understand? Because the COS is about the security of the compound and mainly the 9. You understand? Now Stephen is running the money. So what do you do? What do you do? He's got the money. Now he goes to the opposition. How does he go to the opposition and get them to do something for him against GD? How does he do that? He got the money and the dope. And then, on top of that, he got the police and he got a boy. Well, how does that play into it, you would ask, right? Here's how it plays into it. The boy, I'm going to tell you something about these compounds. These boys know everybody that's slipping in the doors. Everybody that wants to play. You feel what I'm saying? When I say play, I mean wants to get up under the sheets. You understand what I'm saying? So the boy tells him who it is in the other organizations that like to get down. See, why is that important? Because he can use that information to manipulate them. Got a secret? I'm going to keep your secret, but I need you to do something for me. I'm going to pay you too. And then on top of that, if they don't do his bidding, he can get the police to get rid of them because he don't need nobody discussing his business on he's trying to form this coup. He wants to take over. And this dude ain't even 25 yet. And he's moving fast, y'all. You feel me? This is all real deal Holyfield stuff, man. You understand? But the speed in which he moves is going to be his undoing now. But I'm going to give that to you later, okay? Just stay tuned now. You got to stay tuned. I'm going to get all that to you later. Give all that to you later. But here's the thing. So he goes to one of the opposition. I ain't even going to say what gang it is. I ain't going to do it because if they're listening, they know. They know. But I'm going to respect it to the extent that I can. You feel me? I ain't going to out you. I ain't going to do all that. Not going to do that. So just, don't get to sweating. Don't worry about that. Don't be hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? Writing me no letters. Talking about, Joe T, what you do that for? I ain't done nothing. You should have stayed out of the room. But anyway, he go to the opposition. One of the oppositions anyway. And he said, I need a favor. He just laid it out to him. I need you to create a situation where, the COS got to react to it. And then I'm going to make sure that the information get planted where it looks like he done told it. To avoid the fight, he's snitching, trying to get the opposition locked up. So the opposition said, okay, why would you do that? He said, just do what I'm asking, right? And I'm going to pay you. So he does. So the opposition, he don't really trust him. So he sent one of the lower-ranking dudes to cause the problem with the COS. He called the COS out. Called him out. Called him all kind of boys and everything. You feel me? Now see, we don't do one-on-ones. You feel what I'm saying? We don't do one-on-ones. We push with force to set the example. But in this situation, the COS was like, man, I got you. I got you. But before they set the day and all this, and it was the next day, that morning, but before it could happen, that night, guess what? The opposition gets locked up. And it spreads all over the compound that somebody dropped a note and said they were going to kill him. They better get him off the compound. And they snatch him and lock him up. But guess what? Steven starts to circulate on the low that the COS is the one that dropped the note. How did he circulate that on the low, y'all? You want to know how? He can't do it with the folks because the folks will say, Steven told me. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? Don't forget the ally that he has. He got the police. So the police tells a couple of gangsters here, a couple of gangsters there. Next thing you know, they went into the nine and said, man, the police is telling us, man, folks is the one dropped the note and got the opposition locked up because he's scared to fight him. What? See, that's how easy it is to influence a gangster. Listen to me now. This is going to sound crazy. Really crazy, y'all. You commit yourself to a criminal lifestyle, right? You commit yourself to a criminal lifestyle. That means you are not with law enforcement in any way, shape, or form, right? Right. We agree on that. Okay. So why is it so easy for somebody in law enforcement to tell somebody that's not a supporter of law enforcement something and they accept it as fact? How is that? Why is that? When you figure that out, tell me. Hit me up in my comment section and let me know what you think about that one. But anyway, that's what happened. So when the Popo starts to spread this rumor about the note getting dropped, now all of a sudden the nine is looking at the COS like, wait a minute, how can you be in charge of my security when you the one wanted this fight and now you trying to get the dude snatched up and put on the bus so you don't have to fight? Dismissed. He took the spot from him. Whew, you know what's coming now. Steven, I need you. But Steven is smart. This spot, he turned down. Why? He didn't want to let that money go. But he said, folks, I got somebody that I know that'll hold that spot down. So now, guess what? Ooh, wait. Steven recommends one of the guys that is beholden to him for the spot. And he reminds him before he takes the spot, remember what I've done for you. At any moment, I could flip the script. Any moment. So dude tell him, man, I got you. So now, Steven has one of his guys as the COS and the nine don't even know it. He has basically taken over. He got one more spot to go, y'all. And in due time, he's going to do it. But he got to be careful. He got to be slow about this thing. He can't move too fast. If you move too fast, people going to be suspicious. They're going to be suspicious. But the family is already looking to Stephen as the one that's making all the major decisions. The 9 is looking at it like, shh, I ain't got to do nothing. Bruh taking care of the business because he feel like bruh is loyal to the cause. And if you loyal to the cause, not the individual, he going to do what's right by GD. Sounds good. Sounds real good, don't it, y'all? That's what a lot of people say when you're talking about the organization. That the concept of it is great, and if you follow this, is great, and all this and that. People use that, and they make you believe that they really believe that. But the whole time they're like Stephen, they're ambitious. They want power. They want power. So now, Stephen wants that top spot. But that ain't going to be easy, right? Because that top spot, you either got to get voted on by the body or the board over the whole state got to put you in play. Usually, back in the day, they want the body of that's on their compound to pick who they want to lead them. You feel me? But it has to be an issue to remove the 9. This is not a democracy in the sense that you get a 4-year term and all this and that. Well, I used to let brothers re-elect me every year, you know what I'm saying, just out of show of support. But most brothers didn't do that. They don't do that. You feel me? So it's not like after 4 years or even after 1 year that he'll be up to be removed or anything. Like, you got to have a reason to remove a 9. He can stay the 9 the whole entire time that he's locked up in the penitentiary at that particular institution. You feel what I'm saying? So now he needs a reason to get him out of the way. Now look here. This is going to be his biggest manipulation move up to this point. Let me say it like that because he got all kind of stuff going on with him later on down the line. And I just want you to stay tuned for that, right? But check this out. This is what he did. He go to the police. And he tell the police, I want you to lock all of us up. The 9, the COS, and the treasurer, which is him. So the police like, what for? Wait a minute, explain something. What's going on? He said, no, I just need you to lock us up. Leave us in the hole for 3 or 4 days. And then let me out. And the COS out. And not the 9. So the police said, hold on, I got to get somebody to approve that. I can't just lock y'all up for nothing. I can't just do that. He said, we got to have a reason. So he goes and he talks to people and finds that they come back and say, no, we're not playing that game. Got to be a reason to lock somebody. We can't just lock you up because, you know what I'm saying? So Stephen, he's in the cell and he's thinking, he's talking. Now he's starting to go to this boy for a lot of insight and advice. And this boy is just as sneaky as him. You feel what I'm saying? At this point, they are in love. So here's the thing. So the boy tells him, said, look, why don't you create a situation where, you get somebody to drop a note, which is you, on yourselves, and say that all of y'all's lives are in danger. They got to respond to that. You feel me? They got to respond to that and put all of y'all names in it. You feel what I'm saying? And then, while you're in the hole, the boy tells him, I'll drop a note and say that the only person they was trying to get was the 9. Stephen tells me they ain't going to fall for that. He said they will fall for that. They have to react to certain things. And he said that's one of the things they have to react to. And when they come to you as the treasurer and they come to the COS and ask, is his life in danger? Do y'all think we need to let him out? Or will he be okay, this and that? Then that's when you tell him no. That's when you tell him no. We don't know what's going on. And then that's when you play the card. This is what the boy tells him. That's when you play the card about, you told me you wanted me to keep the peace. The best way I can keep the peace is if you don't let him back out. So they execute the plan. Boom. Drop the note. They come lock all 3 of them up. They all 3 go to the hole. The boy dropped the note. They let Stephen and the COS out. They go to Stephen and they ask him, they go to the COS and they ask him, is everything straight? Can the 9 come out? Stephen hit him less like they hit him. Look here, you told me to keep the peace. I'm keeping the peace. Don't let him back out. If you let him back out, we going to war. he gonna make sure we go to war. The warden said, don't let him back out. That's the end of it. He's done. He's over. Guess what happens next, y'all? Guess what happened next? They had a vote. They got to pick a 9. The 9 is sending notes from the hole telling him, I'm on my way back out, I'm on my way back out. But he's not getting out. He don't even know he's finna get shipped. They put him on the bus. When they put him on the bus, he's like, what happened? Had no clue whatsoever. Nothing. He ain't done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Got played. Guess who got picked to be the 9? Stephen. Dun 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 dun. He had arrived. He's the 9. He ain't even 25 years old. He running the whole compound. He put one of his people in play in the treasury so he can continue to call the shots with that. He got his guy on the COS. The dude that's the treasurer is still loyal to the 9, but he's gonna, the dude that's the secretary still loyal to the 9. He gonna get rid of him, but secretary in Steven's mind is really you just keeping notes. You feel me? Being disrespectful to him. Because as the treasurer, the secretary, you still have a lot of influence. You communicate with everybody all around the state. He knows something is off here. He knows something is off. So now, you have this major shuffling around. Stephen is in charge. The compound is shocked because the brother that was the 9 was cool with everybody. Stephen is cool with everybody too, but he putting his foot on this thing. He trying to get every nickel out of the compound. He's trying to manipulate the scene and make sure that can't nobody sell dope unless they get it from him, causing all kind of skirmishes to go on, which is going against what the warden wants. Now you got problems. I don't want problems. Settle everything. So Stephen settles everything. He finds out that he really ain't calling no shots. The warden is calling the shots. You feel me? So now, it's finna get thick, y'all. I tell you, it's finna get real thick. It's finna get real thick. The warden is wanting a favor. The warden wants to know who everybody is in every game. He wants to know what their positions are, what they do, this and that. Now, they got IA that does all this stuff too. But why do all that when you got your guy is the head of the Gangster Disciples? You feel me? They got it. As they say, they got his nuts in a vice. So they tell him we need information. And we need it now. Just like J.G. Wentworth. J.G. Wentworth. Y'all remember that commercial? 877 cash now, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that. They want that information now. So he had to do it. He tells them what they need to know. Because he's smart enough to know. The first time he tells them no, they might do something to him. They might let his secret out. Because he got real feelings for this boy now. And the only ones that know that is the police. Again, keep that in mind, y'all. That's going to matter in a minute. I'm telling you. In these upcoming episodes, that's going to matter. But look here. Before I get to any of that, I'm going to wrap this one up. And you're going to have to come back for the next one. You know how I go. But it's going to get really, really good now, y'all. It's going to get really, really good. Because being the 9 is not enough for him either. Remember, this story started off by telling you about this young 12-year-old that ascended to become the #1 gangster in the state penitentiary system. You understand? So his rise is not over at the 9. The 9 stops at the compound. He wants to be G over the state. You understand? But that's going to take some doing. That's going to take some doing. You feel me? It's going to take some doing. But I'm going to break that down for you on how he does that, man, in these next 3 episodes. But before I go, I want you to check out Rivals now. Check out Rivals. Go check that book out. Me and Boo collabed on that thing. It's on his website, jtb3.org. Go check that thing out, right? I want y'all to check it out and let me know what you think about it. Share it with your friends, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Appreciate all the support, y'all. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.